Hi, my name is Colton Burrell, and I will be giving an argumentative position presentation on personhood, or what makes a person a person. Personhood is difficult. This topic has been analyzed forwards and backwards multiple times. It's something that society may never have a correct explanation, but thoughts can be formed on what people perceive it to be. In this presentation, I will explain several topics of personhood, such as what characteristics make up personhood, what absolves a being's personhood, as well as give an example of character in a TV show who exhibits complete personhood. Not everyone can be considered a person. There are certain lines and contracts that, if crossed, would revoke what people believe is their personhood. As well as there are different characteristics that define whether or not a being can be considered a person. These characteristics can be found in the article If Droids Could Think by Robert Arp. These attributes are rationality, mental states such as beliefs, intentions, desires, and emotions, language, the ability to enter social relationships with other persons, and being considered a responsible moral agent. Arp's article is very interesting as he explains that a certain protocol droid by the name of C3PO can be considered a person because the droid exhibits these characteristics. While this is true, his thoughts are rewritable as they are part of his programming, so he cannot be considered a person. If he were to be captured by the Empire, then his thoughts as well as his beliefs could be altered to make him believe that he's always hated the rebels and wishes them dead. I will be using this article in my essay to help set my point on personhood by labeling the certain characteristics needed to be a person. Now for an example in which someone absolves their right to personhood. In the article, Can We Blame a Man for His Choice?, Nicholas McCall examines the decision of whether or not Dexter should be absolved of his crimes due to his killing of guilty people, along with his urges getting the best of him. Dexter, though, cannot be absolved as he's not a person, because he breaks the social contract of society by killing. Whether or not it was his urges, or they be innocent or guilty killings, he has killed, and therefore should revoke his personhood. I will be using this article in my essay to show what a being can do to have their personhood taken away. Lastly, comes the case of whether or not a certain animated character can have personhood. In the article, Is Brian More of a Person Than Peter? By Mark D. White, Stewie is considered a wanton because he cannot reflect upon his own desires and therefore is not a person. This, however, is not true, because White's article explains that a person must be able to reflect on their own bad desires, and says that Stewie does not reflect on the absurdity of his goals and therefore is a wanton. These goals, however, are positive in Stewie's eyes, and therefore he does not reflect on his liking of said desires. Stewie does have all characteristics of personhood, as well as he's never killed his mother, though he may dream of doing it. Therefore, he must be considered a person because he possesses those attributes, along with never breaking the social contract. I'll be using this article in my essay to prove that it is possible to exhibit complete personhood even as an animated character. I chose this topic because I find philosophical reasonings as well as philosophical questions very interesting. The ways in which we determine right from wrong, fair and unfair, are all interesting examples of social contracts in action. We think and act in these different ways for no reason other than that's how it's always been, and I find it very fascinating to dive into the reasons why and voice my own opinions on matters. I always like to question why we do certain things or why we feel the need to intervene in certain situations, and I just thoroughly enjoy what I can learn from it all. Thank you for listening to my argumentative position presentation over personhood.